Hello everyone. Today we are going to, you know, um, start my data science journey. First, we will start with the Google certificate, Google Data Analytics Professional Certificate for the beginner level, because I'm beginner level. So it is supposed to last 6 months at 10 hours a week. But I am planning to study around like 5 hours per day, which makes one full month, because the total study hours I believe is like 150 hours divided by 5, it's 30. So I'm planning to finish this in 15th of October. Let's see if I can. 15th of October. Let's start from the first lesson. Let's go to the course. So let's start our timer. 35 minutes, then we'll have 5 minutes break. Get started. Okay.
What do companies in e-commerce, entertainment, healthcare, manufacturing, marketing, finance, tech, and hundreds of other industries all have in common? You guessed it, they all use data. Organizations of all kinds need data analysts to help them improve their processes, identify opportunities and trends, launch new products, provide great customer service, and make thoughtful decisions. Hi, I'm Tony, a program manager at Google and a data analyst myself. I'd like to welcome you to the Google Data Analytics Certificate. Now, there are lots of great reasons to earn this certificate.
Okay.
Maybe you're thinking about starting a career in the exciting world of data analytics. Or maybe you're just fascinated by the power of data as I am. No matter what brought you here, you're in the right place to kickstart a career and learn industry relevant skills in data analytics. But first, what exactly is data? Well, I like to say that data is a collection of facts. This collection can include numbers, pictures, videos, words, measurements, observations, and more. Once you have data, analytics puts it to work through analysis. Data analysis is the collection, transformation, and organization of data in order to draw conclusions, make predictions, and drive informed decision making. And it doesn't stop there. Data evolves over time, which means this analysis, or analytics as we call it, can give us new information throughout data's entire life cycle. Data is everywhere. You use and create data every day. Have you ever read reviews of a product before deciding whether or not to buy it? That's data analysis. Or maybe you wear a fitness tracker to count your steps so you can stay active throughout the day. That's data analysis. But you don't just use data, you also create huge amounts of it every single day. Anytime you use your phone, look up something online, stream music, shop with a credit card, post on social media, or use GPS to map a route, you're creating data. Our digital world and the millions of smart devices inside of it have made the amount of data available truly mind-blowing. Here at Google, we process more than 40,000 searches every second. That's 3.5 billion searches a day and 1.2 trillion searches every year. Here's another way to think about it. YouTube has almost 2 billion users. If YouTube users made up a country, it would be the largest in the world. All of that data is transforming the world around us. The publication, The Economist, recently called data the world's most valuable resource. So it's easy to see why data analysts are so valued by their organizations. And what exactly does a data analyst do? Put simply, a data analyst is someone who collects, transforms, and organizes data
transforms and organizes data in order to help make informed
decisions. Besides the role
decisions.
itself, one of the most exciting parts of being a data analyst is the number of opportunities available. The demand for data analysts is greater than the number of qualified people to fill these job openings. And this certificate program is a great first step in your journey to finding a job you love. Data analysts come from many different backgrounds and have all kinds of life experiences. You don't need decades of work experience or an expensive education to get started. Many data analysts taught themselves the skills they needed to land their first job, just like you're doing right now. Okay, now let's talk more about what you're going to learn. The Google Data Analytics Certificate is split into courses based on different processes for data analysis. Those are Ask, Prepare, Process, Analyze, Share, and Act. Plan to watch these videos in order. Each one covers a new topic. The Google Data Analytics Certificate is split into courses based on different processes for data analysis. Those are Ask, Prepare, Process, Analyze, Share, and Act. Plan to watch these videos in order. Each one covers a new topic, and every topic builds on what you've learned before, making it easy to track your progress. And you're in the driver's seat. Even though you might see things organized by weeks, everything can be completed at your own pace. So you decide how much you want to do each day. By the end of the program, you'll take everything you've learned and turn it into a project that you can use to show off your skills and wow hiring managers at your job interviews. Now, along the way, you'll also hear from Googlers. That's what we call people who work here at Google. They'll give you an inside look at what it's like to work in our industry and share personal stories of how they got into the field. They'll also give you some excellent tips on how to land your dream job. Stay tuned. Some of them are going to introduce themselves in just a sec.
So I'm Angie. I'm a program manager of engineering at Google. I truly believe that cleaning data is the heart and soul of data. It's how you get to know your data, its quirks, its flaws, its mysteries. I love a good mystery, and it felt like a superpower almost. Like I was a detective and I'd gone in there and I'd really solved something.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a research scientist at Google. I research the different impacts of artificial intelligence on society and our users.
So my name is Lila Jones, and I am a part of our cloud team. I get a chance to lead a team of amazing individuals that are focused on helping customers get to the cloud.
Hi, I'm Evan. I'm a learning portfolio manager here at Google. And I have one of the coolest jobs in the world, where I get to look at all the different technologies that affect big data and then work them into training courses like this one for students to take.
I'll be your instructor for the first course. I'll take you through each module that will cover a specific topic in a few different ways. I'm really excited to be guiding you through this course, but I'm especially excited that you've chosen this adventure.
Thank you, bro.
Lifelong learning is something that I'm very passionate about. Growing up, when I looked around, I often didn't see many options available to me. It wasn't until I started getting serious about my education that I realized I had the control to make my own opportunities, with education being the key that would open those doors. The more I learned and the harder I worked, the more possibilities opened up. Had I not gone after that knowledge and continued challenging myself, I may not be where I am today. Learning allowed me to grow personally, be successful, visit places I would never have seen, and meet people I would never have known. And now I'm going to introduce some of those great people.
Nice.
Hello, I'm Jimena, financial analyst. I'll be helping you learn how to ask the right questions about data, the project you work on, and the problems you're trying to solve.
Hey, my name is Hallie, analytical lead. I am so excited to show you how to prepare your data so it's ready for analysis.
Hello, I'm Sally, measurement and analytical lead. Together, we'll cover how to process and clean your data. Cleaning data doesn't require soap and water. I'm talking about making sure your data is complete, correct, and relevant to the problem you're trying to solve.
Hey, I'm Ayana, Global Insights Manager. We'll be digging into analysis. You'll learn how to collect, transform, and organize data so that you can use it to discover useful information, draw conclusions, and make great decisions.
My name's Kevin, and with my experience as Director of Analytics at Google, I'll guide you through what I think is the most exciting part of the data analysis process. Plan, create, and present effective and compelling data visualizations.
Hello, my name is Carrie. I can't wait to tell you about all the exciting things you can do with the programming language R. Are you ready?
Hi, I'm Rishi, Global Analytics Skills Curriculum Manager. I'm going to help you bring together everything you learned during this program by creating a case study that will dazzle any hiring manager. Just like the capstone of a great building shows everyone that it's complete, your case study will signify your own great achievement of earning a Google certificate in data analytics.
Okay, are you getting excited about the potential of becoming a data analyst? So much is possible with data. You're about to enter a whole new world. Ready? Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Course 1 overview. Okay. Every day, the amount of data out there grows and grows, so the ability to interpret it effectively is more important than ever before. Data analytics is becoming one of the fastest growing and most rewarding career choices in the world. Currently, there are nearly 500,000 open jobs in data analytics, with a median entry-level salary of $92,000 and 20% annual growth rate. Companies in all kinds of industries need qualified data analysts to solve problems and help make the best possible business decisions. Once you complete this program, you will be prepared to make smart, strategic, data-driven recommendations for organizations of all kinds. Good. So, how do we go? Foundations, data everywhere. Ask questions, make data-driven decisions, prepare data for exploration, process data from dirty to clean, analyze data to answer questions, share data through the art of visualization, data analysis with R programming, data analytics capstone. So Mark has completed. Okay, introduction to the course.
Data. I can't make bricks without clay.
So, yeah. Okay, let's go. One more thing. Wait, let me. Google data. If I may. Okay, Google Data Analytics. How much does it show for the first module? It shows 12 hours. Actually, I can't finish it today, no? In 2 days, okay. This one we do it in 2 days. This one we do it in 3 days, okay. Let me put it here. Let's pause the timer. New chat. So 6 hours. September. Foundation 6 hours. So this is going to be my study plan. Five hours. September. Okay, then what do? We go to prepare for exploration. So we will also do it in 3 days, I believe. 21, 6 hours. Like this, 23, okay, what else? 24 September, let's put also 3 days. Five hours. 5 hours, 6 hours. what else then? Oh, analyze data. Okay, that's going to be 5 days. It will take 5 days. Five and 5 hours. For what? Analyze data. And it will be 27, 28, 29, 30 is September. 31 days. September. Oh, it's 30 days. Okay, then it will be 01 October. Good. So 25 hours done. 6 hours we will study. Good. Six hours. Good. Then what? Oh shit. Data analysis with R programming. It's like 5 hours per day. So it's gonna be 5 hours per day. This 25, good. And the last one, is this a model? 3, 6, yeah. October. So how many hours is this? 12 hours. Okay. 6 hours. 5 hours. Okay, and the last day is 14th of October. Good. And it will be accelerate your job search with AI, which will be 6 hours. That's it? Okay, that will be 1 day only. This is my study plan. Good. 153 hours. Interesting. It should be 155, no? Okay, whatever. So rename. Okay. Let's make this pin. Good. Now today we will study 6 hours then. Good. Let's start our timer again and go back to...
Hey, any guesses who said data, data, data? I can't make bricks without clay. Any guesses who said this? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't a famous tech CEO or a data analyst. The person who said this lived long before tech companies even existed. But I bet you've still heard of him. This line was said by Sherlock Holmes, the famous detective created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. What Doyle meant was that Holmes couldn't draw any conclusions, which would be the bricks he mentioned, without data, or the clay. You're probably not here to become a world-famous detective, but data is still the building block that you'll use for everything you do in your new data analyst career. Sherlock Holmes would agree. By starting this program, you've shown that you and Sherlock Holmes have something in common. You both have an interest in learning more. That's one of the most important qualities that data analysts can have. Now, there are a bunch of different ways to explore data, but one of the great things about data analytics is that you can often learn how you want, when you want. That might mean doing your own research, talking with people in the industry, or taking online courses. With that said, welcome to your first course. This is your introduction to the wonderful world of data analytics. Since data analytics is the science of data, you use this course to begin to learn all about data. Data is basically a collection of facts or information, and through analysis, you'll learn how to use the data to draw conclusions and make predictions and decisions. Personally, I didn't jump right into the data analytics field. I thought data analysis was for computer engineers. Instead, I started off with dreams of working in finance. Once I got through an internship, though, I realized it wasn't the career path I wanted to take. I started to learn about financial planning and analysis and all of the work finance analysts were doing with data. I realized that finance analysts are really just data analysts working in a finance department. These analysts were helping to guide business decisions by knowing how to use data. It was then I realized how powerful data is, and I started to embrace it. Soon enough, I realized I could do this data analysis myself. Data analytics is a big open world of opportunity. There are so many areas your analysis skills can be applied and in all kinds of different ways. If you're new to this world, you'll learn how to identify which path and industry might suit your skills and your interests the best. And for those of you who already have some experience, we'll help you open doors to new and exciting opportunities. One of the skills you'll gain from the program is how to follow the best practices that analysts use to help make data-driven decisions. Computers are one part of the process, but analysts rely on so much more to make decisions. That's why learning how to think analytically and using your other skills and traits on the job will make your work easier. I know you already know how to make good decisions. You chose to be here after all. In this first course, you'll learn more about each phase of the data analysis process. Ask, prepare, process, analyze, share, and act. As a data analyst, you'll go through these steps as you use data to inform your decisions. Eventually, you'll see how this program itself is, in a way, its own version of this process. While I know you'll enjoy watching these videos, your trip through the first course will include a whole lot more. Other videos will take the form of vignettes where you'll learn from data analytics professionals who are already established in their careers. They'll offer words of wisdom as well as tales of their own experiences, starting off on their career path. You'll start your own data journal that will help you keep track of what you've learned throughout the course. You'll also add your own thoughts about what you're learning as well throughout the program. You'll read up on how to navigate this program in the world of data analytics. You'll complete activities, including some that will help you get in the mindset of a data analyst. Along the way, You'll also have the chance to connect with your fellow learners. Discussion prompts will give you a chance to share your thoughts and at the same time, see what your peers think about all that you're learning. These prompts will help you build a community support system to use throughout the program. All right, enough talking. Let's get started on this exciting path. Your next step awaits.
Hi there, I'm Amanda from Grow with Google. We're the team behind the Google Career Certificates, and we're thrilled you've decided to pursue yours in data analytics. Experts here at Google created this program to help you develop skills that prepare you for jobs. Once you complete your certificate, you'll join a community of over 1 million graduates who are launching their new careers. And you'll instantly unlock resources to help you launch yours. This includes an industry-recognized credential from Google that can be added to your resume and your professional profiles like LinkedIn. We're also here to support you along the way as you navigate your job search. We know there's a lot involved in finding a new job, so included at the end of the certificate program, you'll find a course that shows you specific ways to use AI to streamline your search. You'll identify your transferable skills, update your resume for different roles, and practice interviewing, all with the help of AI. Plus, for learners in the United States, you can sign up for one-on-one career coaching and access thousands of job postings through Career Circle at no cost to you. These valuable resources are exclusively for Google Career Certificate graduates. Starting strong is the best way to ensure you complete the program and can access these resources. Here are a few of our top tips to get you to the finish line. First, stay on top of the deadlines, especially in these early weeks. Learners who do this are almost twice as likely to finish their certificate. Second, jump into the learner community right away. This is a great place to get advice and connect with other learners like you.
Okay,
having this community as a resource to turn to if you get stuck significantly boosts your chances of success. And finally, don't get discouraged if you face challenges. It happens. Remember what brought you here, take advantage of the support available to you, and know that with persistence, you've got this. For the latest from Google on career advice, ideas for how to use AI, and notifications about new courses, subscribe to our newsletter at grow.google/updates. We wish you the very best as you embark on this exciting journey, and we look forward to supporting you as you earn your Google Career Certificate.
Thank you. Let's go. I'm so motivated. Okay. Okay, let's go. As a learner, the course can obtain. You must pass all the grade. Okay. The passing grade for each course is 80%. Okay, fair enough. Or want to pay the course certification fee. Some best practice tips to plan your time, which I just did here. I finish in the 13th of October. Plan your time, okay. Work at your own pace, I know. Be curious, I am already fucking so curious. Follow along the instructors, okay, sure. Take notes. I have some paper here, notebook. Review exemplars, what the hell that mean? I don't know. Build your career identity, I'm not sure about that. Connect with other learners, no thank you. Update your profile, no thank you. Okay, documents and to complete certain activities you will need to use digital documents, spreadsheet, page, Google Sheets, yeah, I can work on Google Sheets, yeah. Model glossaries, course glossaries. If you don't have a Google account, what the hell is this? Glossary, okay. Yeah, dictionary, kind of dictionary, yeah, I know. Random sampling, okay. Swift, a programmer for macOS, iOS, Swift, I didn't know that. Tableau, okay. I mean, this can be useful. Use template. Use template? What does it mean, use template? Okay, mark is completed. Good. Can I just not save this as PDF and keep going. Evaluate your current data analytics skills. Sounds like, move on to the, if it sounds like you can move on the next. What does it mean? Commit to completing. Yeah, just, how can I save this? Use template. I am not sure what happened, but whatever. So yeah, something like this. Good, good. Google Docs. My storage is full, interesting. Now let's go to this one. And open the one that we just, okay. Good. Good. Okay, done. So whatever we need, it is here. Well, here, okay, data knowledge. Right. I'm able to join data from multiple sources to use data. No, I can sort the data in Postgres database. No, I'm able to clean data. No, I know how to create data visualization. No, I can write SQL. Okay. If you're already familiar with the other concepts, skills present. Yeah. Next item. I don't know anything, so I'm just a total beginner. Google Data Analytics Certificate Participant Entry Server. Are you 18 years or older? Yes. Next. Yeah, this is also a study. Find your top 1-3 reason or learn. Find a new job. Get learn skill. No, apply further education. Okay, next. Which program was when you started? Unemployed. Which of the firms will you work for? None of the above. Was it your area when you started the safety group? Prefer not to answer. What is your highest level of education? Bachelor's. Are you a student? Not a student. Which of your current information technology, I mean data? IT, yeah, kinda. Let's say IT. Which country you reside? Azerbaijan. I am 26, yes, and I live in a large city. Oh shit! Wait, male, a man. I mean, have you served anymore? Yes, I did. Thank you for asking. Are you? No, not apply to me. Do you contacting you regarding works? Do you consent to Google representative contacting you regarding your certificate experience? Nah. Do you consider criticism regarding? Nah. Done. Marcus completed. Let's go! Data analytics in everyday life.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
At this point, you've been introduced to the world of data analytics and what data analysts do. You've also learned how this course will prepare you for a successful career as an analyst. Coming up, you'll learn all the ways data can be used, and you'll discover why data analysts are in such high demand. I'm not exaggerating when I say every goal and success that my team and I have achieved couldn't have been done without data. Here at Google, all of our products are built on data and data-driven decision-making. From concept to development to launch, we're using data to figure out the best way forward. And we're not alone. Countless other organizations also see the incredible value in data, and of course, the data analysts who help them make use of it. So, we know data opens up a lot of opportunities. But to help you wrap your head around all the ways you can actually use data, let's go over a few examples from everyday life. You might not realize it, but people analyze data all the time. For instance, I'm a morning person. A long time ago, I realized that I'm happier and more productive if I get to bed early and wake up early. I came to this conclusion after noticing a pattern in my day-to-day experiences. When I got 7 hours of sleep and woke up at 6:30, I was the most successful. So I thought about the relationship between this pattern and my daily life. And I predicted that early to bed, early to rise would be the right choice for me. And I'm definitely my best self when I wake up bright and early. I bet you've identified patterns and relationships in your life too. Maybe about your own sleep cycle, or how you feel after eating certain foods, or what time of day you like to work out. All of these are great examples of real-life patterns and relationships that you can use to make predictions about the right actions to take. And that is a huge part of data analysis, right there. Now, let's put this process into a business setting. You may remember from an earlier video that there's a ton of data out there. And every minute of every hour of every day, more data is being created. Businesses need a way to control all that data so they can use it to improve processes, identify opportunities and trends, launch new products, serve customers, and make thoughtful decisions. For businesses to be on top of the competition, they need to be on top of their data. That's why these companies hire data analysts to control the waves of data they collect every day, make sense of it, and then draw conclusions or make predictions. This is the process of turning data into insights, and it's how analysts help businesses put all their data to good use. This is actually a good way to think about analysis, turning data into insights. As a reminder, the more detailed definition you learned earlier is that data analysis is the collection, transformation, and organization of data in order to draw conclusions, make predictions, and drive informed decision making. So after analysts have created insights from data, what happens? Well, a lot. Those insights are shared with others, decisions are made, and businesses take action. And here's where it can get really exciting. Data analytics can help organizations completely rethink something they do or point them in a totally new direction. For example, maybe data leads them to a new product or unique service, or maybe it helps them find a new way to deliver an incredible customer experience. It's these kinds of aha moments that can help businesses reach another level. And that makes data analysts vital to any business. Now that you know more of the amazing ways data is being used every day, you can see why data analysts are in such high demand. We'll continue exploring how analysts can transform data into insights that lead to action. And before you know it, you'll be ready to help any organization find new and exciting ways to transform their data.
Okay, now we start. How do we do? Okay, that's weird. Start. What? What do you mean? After your data, do us okay. Order job. Sample customer data, order number, product name, quantity, order date, customer rating. Good, okay. Customer rating is missing here. And maybe they didn't, review. Okay. What type of data is primarily represented in the quantity column? Numeric data, obviously. The data in the order date column is a specific type that can be used to track events over time. What type of data does this column? Date data, obviously. That's a stupid thing. In the customer rating column, most of the entries are numbered from 1 to 5. However, this one entry that is a word. That is an example of a common data issue. Excellent. Inconsistent data, I believe. I don't know, they didn't teach me this. How can I write this without... Did we talk about this in the course? I don't get it. We didn't talk about inconsistent data, missing data. Okay, if order ID has a blank entry in the customer rating column, what is the most important reason a data analyst will need to address this before performing an analysis? The blank entry will cause a spreadsheet crash. No, the blank entry is not a number. The one is missing data could affect calculation like an average rating. Okay, that makes sense. Customer did not know. Enter your legal name, Shamsaddin. Surname too? I don't know. Submit. Okay, ready to submit. So we got 100%. Okay, good. Good. Next item. But I don't get it. Data types. Did we talk about data types in here? Why they are asking me a question that they didn't explain? Okay, never mind. Need data perspectives. Okay, ask, prepare, process, analyze, share, act. What does it mean? Ask. First, analysts need to define what project would like to look like and what will qualify as successful. They asked effective questions. What do you suspect is leading cause of this section? Okay. Do you believe managers with higher retention rates offer new employees something extra? Okay. Prepare. Solid preparation. Also during this time, analysts identified that they needed. Okay. First you ask, then you prepare something, then you process. What does process mean? Great analysts know how to respect both their data and people who provide it. Since employees provide the data, it was important to make sure all employees gave their consent to participate. Okay, collected. Okay, then you analyze it, employees, okay. Then you just share the report. Then you act upon the insight. Okay, now I got it. First, prepare. Ask, prepare, process. Ask, prepare, process, analyze, share, act. Ask, prepare, process, analyze, share, act. Yes, I got it. Yeah, that's the order. Yeah. How did analysts approach tasks? Am I supposed to read all this shit? Okay, let's go. Okay. I already got this one. Yeah, okay, you ask you do this, prepare a process, analyze, share, act. Okay, I got this one. The retiring contribution dilemma. Okay, retirement contribution. We can read this one. The management team at a fictional mid-sized tech company, Geoflow Incorporated, blah blah, INC, noticed that employee participation in the company's retirement contribution program was lower than expected. The company had invested a lot of resources in establishing its world-class benefit program with the goal of reducing employee turnover. Because so few employees were using this program, leaders wondered if they should develop educational training to explain the benefits to employees. They wanted to make a well-informed decision before committing to the investment, so they asked their data analytics department to make a recommendation. The analysts used the 6 phases framework and began by defining the problem. They asked, are employees investing in the company's retirement contribution program? And if not, should we create an educational program to encourage participation? That's yeah. Satisfied with their research questions, they prepared their analysis project by gathering data from HR, such as employee demographics, salary levels, and the current retirement contributions. Next, they processed the data by cleaning and organizing it. They removed duplicates and data from the individuals who had retired or left the company, then sorted the data by the employees' ages, departments, and lengths of employment. Their analysis showed that some employee groups were less likely to contribute to the plan or to be aware that the company offers a matching contribution. The analysis showed that some employee groups were less likely to contribute to the plan or to be aware that the company offers a matching contribution. They interpreted these results to mean that these employee groups were not receiving enough education on the company's retirement contribution matching program. They also studied the data to find trends and insights and used data visualization to review their analysis by exploring it in different contexts. The analysts shared their findings with the management team using visualizations, including bar and pie charts that illustrated facts clearly so decision makers could easily interpret the data. The report showed that while overall participation was decent, some employee groups were not taking full advantage of retirement program, but they might if they knew more about the program or matching contribution to company offers. Based on these findings, the company took action, creating a targeted education program focusing on the benefits of retirement contributions, specifically aimed at the employees groups identified as low contributors. Results showed that a few months after implementing this training, there was a significant increase in retirement contributions among the targeted groups. Okay. Good. Cassie, dimension of data analytics. Casey or Cassie, I don't know.
Hi, I'm Cassie, and I lead Decision Intelligence for Google Cloud. Decision Intelligence is a combination of applied data science and the social and managerial...
Oh, wait. Why don't you beep or do something, you stupid website? I passed my... Okay, now this is time for a quick... I don't know how to say... break, yeah. Okay. It's okay. It's totally fine.
Rural sciences, and it is all about harnessing the power and beauty of data. I help Google Cloud and its customers turn their data into impact and make their businesses and the world better. A data analyst is an explorer, a detective, and an artist all rolled into one. Analytics is the quest for inspiration. You don't know what's going to inspire you before you explore, before you take a look around.
Before you explore.
And so when you begin,
she talks weird.
You have no idea what you're going to find.
You have no idea.
Whether you're even going to find anything. You have to bravely dive into the unknown and discover what lies in your data. There is a pervasive myth that someone who works in data should know the everything of data. And I think that that's unhelpful because the universe of data has expanded, and it's expanded so much. That specialization becomes important. It's very, very difficult for one person to know and be the everything of data. And so that's why we need these different roles. And the advice that I give folks who are entering the space is to pick their specialization based on which flavor, which type of impact best suits their personality. Now, data science, the discipline of making data useful, is an umbrella term that encompasses 3 disciplines: machine learning, statistics, and analytics. These are separated by how many decisions you know you want to make before you begin with them. So if you want to make a few important decisions under uncertainty, that is statistics. If you want to automate, in other words, make many decisions under uncertainty, that is machine learning and AI. But what if you don't know how many decisions you want to make before you begin? What if what you're looking for is inspiration? You want to encounter your unknown unknowns. You want to understand your world. That is analytics. When you're considering data science and you're choosing which area to specialize in, I recommend going with your personality. Which of the 3 excellences in data science feels like a better fit for you? The excellence of statistics is rigor. Statisticians are essentially philosophers, epistemologists. So they are very, very careful about protecting decision makers from coming to the wrong conclusion. So if that care and rigor is what you are passionate about, I would recommend statistics. Performance is the excellence of the machine learning and AI engineer. You know that's the one for you. If someone says to you, I bet that you couldn't build an automation system that performs this task with 99.99999% accuracy, and your response to that is, watch me. How about analytics? The excellence of an analyst is speed. How quickly can you surf through vast amounts of data to explore it and discover the gems, the beautiful potential insights that are worth knowing about and bringing to your decision makers? Are you excited by the ambiguity of exploration? Are you excited by the idea of working on a lot of different things, looking at a lot of different data sources, and thinking through vast amounts of information while promising not to snooze past the important potential insights? Are you okay being told, here's a whole lot of data, no one has looked at it before, go find something interesting? And do you thrive on creative, open-ended projects? If that's you, then analytics is probably the best fit for you. A piece of advice that I have for analysts getting started on this journey is it can be pretty scary to explore the unknown, but I suggest letting go a little bit of any temptations towards perfectionism and instead enjoying the fun, the thrill of exploration. Don't worry about right answers. See how quickly you can unwrap this gift and find out if there is anything fun in there. It's like your birthday, unwrapping a bunch of things. Some of them you like, some of them you won't. But isn't it fun to know what's actually in there?
Origins of data analysis process. Ask, prepare, process, analyze, share, act. I got it. EMC Corporation. Discovery, processing, model planning, model building, communicate, resolve, operationalize. Okay, whatever. Ask, prepare, explore, model, implement, act, evaluate. Okay, good. Summary. What is this? Free access. Verifying that you are human. I am human. Data science, big data analytics. Okay, not bad. PDF. Access through your... Wait, what? But you said it's free. You fucker. Okay, summary. Can I get summary? Yeah, I can get summary. What do you want, bro? Free access, okay. Do I not already have it? Wait. Willie. Okay. Okay, this one. Okay, what big data. Which year? Okay. Not bad. What is its size here? EMC Corporation. Communicate results. Okay, discovery. First discovery. Data preparation, model planning, model building, communicate results, operationalize. That was difficult. Data analytics lifestyle, a life cycle lifestyle. Big data techniques. Okay, let's go. PDF. Big data analytics lifecycle. Okay. And you set what? Data, business case evaluation, data identification, data acquisition, filtering, data extraction, data validation, cleansing, aggregation, representation, data analysis, data visualization, utilization of data as result. Okay, whatever. Yeah.
Hello again. You've already learned about being a data analyst and how this program will help prepare you for your future career. Now, it's time to explore the data ecosystem, find out where data analytics fits into that system, and go over some common misconceptions you might run into in the field of data analytics. To put it simply, an ecosystem is a group of elements that interact with one another. Ecosystems can be large, like the jungle in a tropical rainforest, or the Australian outback, or tiny, like tadpoles in a puddle or bacteria on your skin. And just like the kangaroos and koala bears in the Australian outback, data lives inside its own ecosystem too. Data ecosystems are made up of various elements that interact with one another in order to produce, manage, store, organize, analyze, and share data. These elements include hardware and software tools and the people who use them, people like you. Data can also be found in something called the cloud. The cloud is a place to keep data online rather than on a computer hard drive. So instead of storing data somewhere inside your organization's network, that data is accessed over the internet. So the cloud is just a term we use to describe the virtual location. The cloud plays a big part in the data ecosystem. And as a data analyst, it's your job to harness the power of that data ecosystem. Find the right information and provide the team with analysis that helps them make smart decisions. For example, you could tap into your retail store's database, which is an ecosystem filled with customer names, addresses, previous purchase, and customer reviews. As a data analyst, you could use this information to predict what these customers will buy in the future and make sure the store has the products in stock when they're needed. As another example, let's think about a data ecosystem used by a human resources department. This ecosystem would include information like postings from job websites, stats on the current labor market, employment rates, and social media data on prospective employees. A data analyst could use this information to help their team recruit new workers and improve employee engagement and retention rates. But data ecosystems aren't just for stores and offices, they work on farms too. Agricultural companies regularly use data ecosystems that include information, including geological patterns and weather movements. Data analysts can use this data to help farmers predict crop yields. Some data analysts are even using data ecosystems to save real environmental ecosystems. At the Scripps Institution of Oceanography, coral reefs all over the world are monitored digitally so they can see how organisms change over time, track their growth, and measure any increases or declines in individual colonies. The possibilities are endless. Okay, now let's talk about some common misconceptions you might come across. First is the difference between data scientists and data analysts. It's easy to confuse the two, but what they do is actually very different. Data science is defined as creating new ways of modeling and understanding the unknown by using raw data. Here's a good way to think about it. Data scientists create new questions using data, while analysts find answers to existing questions by creating insights from data sources. There are also many words and phrases you'll hear throughout this course that are easy to get mixed up. For example, data analysis and data analytics sound the same, but they're actually very different things. Let's start with analysis. You've already learned that data analysis is the collection, transformation, and organization of data in order to draw conclusions, make predictions, and drive informed decision making. Data analytics, in the simplest terms, is the science of data. It's a very broad concept that encompasses everything from the job of managing and using data to the tools and methods that data workers use each and every day. So when you think about data, data analysis, and the data ecosystem, it's important to understand that all of these things fit under the data analytics umbrella. All right, now that you know a little more about the data ecosystem and the differences between data analysis and data analytics, you're ready to explore how data is used to make effective decisions. You'll get to see data-driven decision-making in action. So far, you've discovered that there are many different ways data can be used. In our everyday lives, we use data when we wear a fitness tracker or read product reviews to make a purchase decision. And in business, we use data to learn more about our customers, improve.
Wait a minute.
Processes and help employees do their jobs more effectively. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. One of the most powerful ways you can put data to work is with data-driven decision-making. Data-driven decision-making is defined as using facts to guide business strategy. Organizations in many different industries are empowered to make better data-driven decisions by data analysts all the time. The first step in data-driven decision-making is figuring out the business need. Usually, this is a problem that needs to be solved. For example, a problem could be a new company needing to establish better brand recognition so it can compete with bigger, more well-known competitors. Or maybe an organization wants to improve a product and needs to figure out how to source parts from a more sustainable or ethically responsible supplier. Or it could be a business trying to solve the problem of unhappy employees, low levels of engagement, satisfaction, and retention. Whatever the problem is, once it's defined, a data analyst finds data, analyzes it, and uses it to uncover trends, patterns, and relationships. Sometimes the data-driven strategy will build on what's worked in the past. Other times, it can guide a business to branch out in a whole new direction. Let's look at a real-world example. Think about a music or movie streaming service. How do these companies know what people want to watch or listen to? And how do they provide it? Well, using data-driven decision-making, they gather information about what their customers are currently listening to, analyze it, then use the insights they've gained to make suggestions for things people will most likely enjoy in the future. This keeps customers happy and coming back for more, which in turn means more revenue for the company. Another example of data-driven decision-making can be seen in the rise of e-commerce. It wasn't long ago that most purchases were made in a physical store. But the data showed people's preferences were changing. So a lot of companies created entirely new business models that removed the physical store and let people shop right from their computers or mobile phones, with products delivered right to their doorstep. In fact, data-driven decision-making can be so powerful, it can make entire business methods obsolete. For example, data help companies completely move away from corded phones and replace them with mobile phones. By ensuring that data is built into every business strategy, data analysts play a critical role in their company's success. But it's important to note that no matter how valuable data-driven decision-making is, data alone will never be as powerful as data combined with human experience, observation, and sometimes even intuition. To get the most out of data-driven decision-making, it's important to include insights from people who are familiar with the business problem. These people are called subject matter experts, and they have the ability to look at the results of data analysis and identify any inconsistencies, make sense of gray areas, and eventually validate choices being made. Organizations that work this way put data at the heart of every business strategy, but also benefit from the insights of their people. It's a win-win. As a data analyst, you play a key role in empowering these organizations to make data-driven decisions, which is why it's so important for you to understand how data plays a part in the decision-making process.
Ask, prepare, process, analyze, share, act. I fucking already know this, but whatever. Why gut instincts can be a problem. At the heart of data-driven decision-making is data. Therefore, it's essential data analysts focus on the data to ensure they make informed decisions. If you ignore data by preferring to make a decision based on your experience, your decision may be biased. But even worse, decisions based on gut instincts without any data back on them that cause mistakes. Consider an example of a restaurant entrepreneur partnering with a well-known chef to develop a new restaurant in a bustling part of the city's central shopping district. The chef has several restaurants across the city, banking on the reputation of a restaurant entrepreneur, and chef followed gut instinct and created another uniquely themed restaurant. However, fundraising efforts fell short to fund the opening of the restaurant. After months of planning and preparation, the property will go back on the market to be sold at loss. Had the entrepreneur done more research, they would have found that the showing prospects customers in this new restaurant location were very different from the chef's other restaurants. The more you understand the data related to a project, it's easier to figure out what is required. These efforts will also help you to identify errors and gaps in your data so you can communicate your findings more effectively. Sometimes past experiences, data plus business knowledge equal to mystery solved. Blending data with business knowledge. Okay, key takeaways. Data analysis and effective detectives share a similar approach of problem solving, but relying on evidence and facts to make decisions. Data-driven decision making is essential for analysts, but gut instincts can also play a role in identifying patterns and connections. Balancing data and gut instincts is crucial for making informed decisions. Test your knowledge. Okay, let's go. In your role as a data professional, you examine the data of a taxi rider's rides to determine which hour of the day typically has the highest demand. Under which discipline does the examiner best fall? Well, you work on an existing discipline. Which discipline? It's a tricky question. I mean, I'm not sure. Fill a blank. A blah blah encompasses various elements interact with another to produce managers ecosystem. I mean, business data store closes. Okay. Okay. When building data into business strategy, why is it important to include insights from subject matter experts? He was talking about this, but I missed it. Their experience in human interaction are valuable data. Okay, they can review and also result in other inconsistent. They're familiar with the business problem. Okay, they're responsible for Okay, I'm not sure. Then an e-commerce website, can I repeatedly do this or? An e-commerce website collects, observes, and analyzes its customers' online behaviors. Then it used to be inside and an e-commerce collects, observes online behaviors. Then it used the insight gain to choose when to put certain. Okay, this is data-driven decision making. Yeah. In your role as a data professional, you examine a data set of taxi rides during which hour of the day? Which discipline? I mean, I'm so... Data analytics. Okay, whatever. 75%. %. Wow. Wait, I did read this, bro. 100%. Interesting. View submission. That's good. That's really good.
Welcome. Now that you have a solid foundation on the basics of data, it's time to focus on some particular skills and characteristics that will be key to your future career as a data analyst. We'll begin with 5 key skills, move on to the characteristics of analytical thinking, and then learn how data analysts balance their roles and responsibilities. Along the way, you'll also discover how to tap into your own natural abilities for strategy, technical expertise, and data design. These are incredibly helpful skills to have, and you'll learn how to make them even stronger. Finally, you'll be introduced to some fascinating real-world examples of how data is influencing the lives of people all around the world. All right, let's get started. Earlier, I told you that you already have analytical skills. You just might not know it yet. When learning new things, sometimes people overlook their own skills, but it's important you take the time to acknowledge them, especially since these skills are going to help you as a data analyst. In fact, you're probably more prepared than you think. Don't believe me? Well, let me prove it. Let's start by defining what I'm talking about here. Analytical skills are qualities and characteristics associated with solving problems using facts. There are a lot of aspects to analytical skills, but we'll focus on 5 essential points. They are curiosity, understanding context, having technical mindset, data design, and data strategy. Now, you may be thinking, I don't have these kinds of skills, or I only have a couple of them. But stay with me, and I bet you'll change your mind. Let's start with curiosity. Curiosity is all about wanting to learn something. Curious people usually seek out new challenges and experiences. This leads to knowledge. The very fact that you're here with me right now demonstrates that you have curiosity. All right, that was an easy one. Now, think about understanding context. Context is the condition in which something exists or happens. This can be a structure or an environment. A simple way of understanding context is by counting to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of those numbers exist in the context of 1 through 5. But what if a friend of yours said to you 1, 2, 4, 5, 3? Well, the 3 would be out of context. Simple, right? But it can be a little tricky. There's a good chance that you might not even notice the 3 being out of context if you aren't paying close attention. That's why listening and trying to understand the full picture is critical. In your own life, you put things into context all the time. For example, let's think about your grocery list. If you group together items like flour, sugar, and yeast, that's you adding context to your groceries. This saves you time when you're at the baking aisle at the grocery store. Let's look at another example. Have you ever shuffled a deck of cards and noticed the joker? If you're playing a game that doesn't include jokers, identifying that card means you understand it's out of context. Remove it, and you're much more likely to play a successful game. Alright, so now we know you have both curiosity and the ability to understand context. Let's move on to the third skill, a technical mindset. A technical mindset involves the ability to break things down into smaller steps or pieces and work with them in an orderly and logical way. For instance, when paying your bills, you probably already break down the process into smaller steps. Maybe you start by sorting them by the date they're due. Next, you might add them up and compare that amount to the balance in your bank account. This would help you see if you can pay your bills now or if you should wait until the next paycheck. Finally, you pay them. When you take something that seems like a single task, like paying your bills, and break it into smaller steps with an orderly process, that's using a technical mindset. Now let's explore the fourth part of an analytical skill set, data design. Data design is how you organize information. As a data analyst, design typically has to do with an actual database. But again, the same skills can easily be applied to everyday life. For example, think about the way you organize the contacts in your phone. That's actually a type of data design. Maybe you list them by first name instead of last, or maybe you use email addresses instead of their names. What you're really doing is designing a clear, logical list that lets you call or text a contact in a quick and simple way. The last, but definitely not least, the fifth and final element of analytical skills is data strategy. Data strategy is the management of the people, processes, and tools used in data analysis. Let's break that down. You manage people by making sure they know how to use the right data to find solutions to the problem you're working on. For processes, it's about making sure the path to that solution is clear and accessible. And for tools, you make sure the right technology is being used for the job. Now, you may be doubting my ability to give you an example from real life that demonstrates data strategy. But check this out. Imagine mowing a lawn. Step one would be reading the owner's manual for the mower. That's making sure the people involved, well you in this example, know how to use the data available. The manual would instruct you to put on protective eyewear and closed-toe shoes. Then it's on to step two, making the process, the path, clear and accessible. This would involve you walking around the lawn, picking up large sticks or rocks that might get in your way. Finally, for step three, you check the lawnmower, your tool, to make sure it has enough gas and oil and is in working condition so the lawn can be mown safely. So there you have it.
Okay, whatever.
Now you know the 5 essential skills of a data analyst. Curiosity, understanding context, having a technical mindset, data design, and data strategy. I told you that you are already an analytical thinker. Now, you can start actively practicing these skills as you move through the rest of this course. Curious about what's next? Move on to the next video.
Thinking about the way you organize is data design. Start. Okay. Use data analysis in a business scenario. Okay. Scenario. The movie Megapic has released in 5 of their last 6 releases. So the leaders in Megapic noticed their company went through a similar slump, but recovered. They want to do base data to study the hurry analysis. They ask exploratory data analysis (EDA) to understand what others have taken to us. Key factors to contribute to movie's opening weekend success: understand the relationship between movies. The writer said a company collects information: movie name, release date, opening night revenue, opening weekend revenue, budget, marketing cost, ratings, genre. Curiosity. Practice data analysis skills. A data analysis skills flashcard exercise. Name that skill. Identify the 5 skills used the data analysis. Okay, one last time. Curiosity, understanding the context, technical mindset, data design, data strategy. Okay, let's go. Continue. The quality. Wait, what am I supposed to do? The qualities and characteristics associated with solving problem using facts. What was it? I forgot the skills though. Curiosity, understanding the context, technical mindset. Okay. Understanding the context. What? Next card. The analysis involves breaking smaller steps and working them in order logical way. The analytical skill that involves breaking processes down into smaller steps and working with them in an orderly logical way. Data design. A technical mindset. Yeah. Shit. Analytical skill that involves how you organize data design. This time easy. The analytical skill that has to do with how you group things into categories. Data strategy. Shit. That involves managing product tools, data strategy. Okay, whatever. Mark is completed. Test your knowledge. Okay. Let's test my knowledge. Analytical skills are the qualities and characteristics associated with using facts. The acquaintance tells you that they spend many hours each day playing. To learn more, they ask them whether they play sport, music, or something else. Their answer helps to clarify the meaning of stay. What does this scenario? Understanding the context. Which analytical skill involves the ability to break things into technical mindset? The analytical skill how organizes data design. Yes, submit 100% easy. Boom, let's go. Yeah, let's go.
Now that you know the 5 essentials.
Okay, how many? So we have like 5 minutes left. 5, 10.
Let's recap.
15. 20.
And it
21. Okay, we have like half an hour,
now
40
that you
minutes
know the 5
left.
essential skills of a data analyst.
Can I eat my food after 40 minutes? That's the thing. Or should I eat now? I think I will eat after 40 minutes.
Ready to learn more about what it means to think analytically. People don't often think about thinking. Thinking is second nature to us. It just happens automatically. But there are actually many different ways to think. Some people think creatively. Some think critically. And some people think in abstract ways.
True.
Let's talk about analytical thinking. Analytical thinking involves identifying and defining a problem and then solving it by using data in an organized, step-by-step manner. So as data analysts, how do we think analytically? Well, to answer that question, we will now talk about a second set of 5. The 5 key aspects to analytical thinking.
5 key aspects.
They are visualization, strategy, problem orientation, correlation, and finally, big picture and detail-oriented thinking.
Strategy.
Let's start with visualization. In data analytics, visualization is the graphical representation of information. Some examples include graphs, maps, or other design elements. Visualization is important because visuals can help data analysts understand and explain information more effectively.
Sure.
Think about it like this. If you are trying to explain the Grand Canyon to someone, using words would be much more challenging than showing them a picture. A visualization of the Grand Canyon would help you make your point much quicker. Now let's talk about the second part of analytical thinking, being strategic. With so much data available, having a strategic mindset.
Alo. Səhv nömrəyə düşübsüz deyəsən.
Ha?
Səhv nömrəyə yığıbsız deyəsən.
Eşmə. Ha, bağışlayırsan.
That is key to staying focused and on track. Strategizing helps data analysts see what they want to achieve with the data and how they can get there. Strategy also helps improve the quality and usefulness of the data we collect. By strategizing, we know all our data is valuable and can help us accomplish our goals. Next up on the analytical thinking checklist, being problem-oriented. Data analysts use a problem-oriented approach in order to identify, describe, and solve problems. It's all about keeping the problem top of mind throughout the entire project. For example, say a data analyst is told about the problem of a warehouse constantly running out of supplies. They will move forward with different strategies and processes, but the number one goal would always be solving the problem of keeping inventory on the shelves. Data analysts also ask a lot of questions. This helps improve communication and saves time while working on a solution. An example of that would be surveying customers about their experiences, using a product and building insights from those questions to improve that product. This leads us to the fourth quality of analytical thinking, being able to identify a correlation between two or more pieces of data. A correlation is like a relationship. You can find all kinds of correlations in data. Maybe it's the relationship between the length of your hair and the amount of shampoo you need. Or maybe you notice a correlation between a rainier season leading to a high number of umbrellas being sold. But as you start identifying correlations in data, there's one thing you always want to keep in mind. Correlation does not equal causation. In other words, just because two pieces of data are both trending in the same direction, that doesn't necessarily mean they are all related. We'll learn more about that later. And now,
causation doesn't mean
of the analytical thinking puzzle, big picture thinking.
Correlation doesn't mean
causation. This means being able to see the
causation.
big picture as well as the details.
Just because
a jigsaw
two
puzzle
things
is a great
go
way
in
to
the
think
same
about
direction
this.
doesn't
Big
mean
picture thinking is like looking at a complete puzzle. You can enjoy the whole picture without getting stuck on every tiny piece that went into making it. If you only focus on individual pieces, you wouldn't be able to see past that, which is why big picture thinking is so important. It helps you zoom out and see possibilities and opportunities. This leads to exciting new ideas or innovations. On the flip side, detail-oriented thinking is all about figuring out all of the aspects that will help you execute a plan. In other words, the pieces that make up your puzzle. There are all kinds of problems in the business world that can benefit from employees who have both a big picture and a detail-oriented way of thinking. Most of us are naturally better at one or the other, but you can always develop the skills to fit both pieces together. And now that you know the 5 aspects of analytical thinking, visualization, strategy, problem orientation, correlation, and big picture and detail-oriented thinking, you can put them to work for you when you're working with data. And as you continue through this course, you'll learn how.
To execute a plan using data-oriented, what does it? To execute a plan using detail-oriented thinking, what does the data consider? The specifics, the big picture. Detail-oriented thing. Okay, that's good.
Let's recap what we've learned about analytical thinking so far. The 5 key aspects are visualization, strategy, problem orientation, correlation, and using big picture and detail-oriented thinking. And we've seen how you already use them in your everyday life. We also talked about how different people naturally use certain types of thinking, but that you can absolutely grow and develop the skills that might not come as easily to you. This means you can become a versatile thinker, which is a very important part of data analysis. You might naturally be an analytical thinker, but you can learn to think creatively and critically, and be great at all three. The more ways you can think, the easier it is to think outside the box and come up with fresh ideas. But why is it important to think in different ways? Well, because in data analysis, solutions are almost never right in front of you. You need to think critically to find out the right questions to ask, but you also need to think creatively to get new and unexpected answers. Let's talk about some of the questions data analysts ask when they're on the hunt for a solution. Here's one that will come up a lot. What is the root cause of a problem? A root cause is the reason why a problem occurs. If we can identify and get rid of a root cause, we can prevent that problem from happening again. A simple way to wrap your head around root causes is with a process called the 5 whys. In the 5 whys, you ask why 5 times to reveal the root cause. The 5th and final answer should give you some useful and sometimes surprising insights. Here's an example of the 5 whys in action. Let's say you wanted to make a blueberry pie but couldn't find any blueberries. You'd be trying to solve a problem by asking, why can't I make a blueberry pie? The answer would be, there were no blueberries at the store. There's why number 1. So, you then ask, why were there no blueberries at the store? And discover that the blueberry bushes don't have enough fruit this season. That's why number 2. Next you'd ask, why was there not enough fruit? This would lead to the fact that birds were eating all the berries. Why number 3 asked and answered. Now we get to why number 4. Ask why a 4th time, and the answer would be that although the birds normally prefer mulberries and don't eat blueberries, the mulberry bushes didn't produce fruit this season. So the birds are eating blueberries instead. And finally, we get to why number 5, which should reveal the root cause. A late frost damaged the mulberry bushes, so they didn't produce any fruit. So, you can't make a blueberry pie because of a late frost months ago. See how the 5 whys can reveal some very surprising root causes? This is a great trick to know, and it can be a very helpful process in data analysis. Another question commonly asked by data analysts is, where are the gaps in our process? For this, many people will use something called gap analysis. Gap analysis lets you examine and evaluate how a process works currently in order to get where you want to be in the future. Businesses conduct gap analysis to do all kinds of things, such as improve a product or become more efficient. The general approach to gap analysis is understanding where you are now compared to where you want to be. Then, you can identify the gaps that exist between the current and future state and determine how to bridge them. A third question that data analysts ask a lot is, what did we not consider before? This is a great way to think about what information or procedure might be missing from a process, so you can identify ways to make better decisions and strategies moving forward. These are just a few examples of the kinds of questions data analysts use at their jobs every day. As you begin your career, I'm sure you'll think of a whole lot more. The way data analysts think and ask questions plays a big part in how businesses make decisions. That's why analytical thinking and understanding how to ask the right questions can have such a huge impact on the overall success of a business. Later, we'll talk more about how data-driven decisions can lead to successful outcomes.
Here's the 5 whys. Okay. Customers complain poor grocery deliveries. Why? Products are arriving damaged. Why? Products are not packaged properly. Why? Grocery packages are not trained. Why? Packers have not completed required training. Okay. There has been an increase in the number of defects in water pumps. Why? The machines are not properly calibrated. Why? The machines were calibrated during maintenance. The calibration method was inappropriate for the machines. The engineers don't have the information they need to calibrate applicated machines. Okay. Good.
In an earlier video, you learned about 5 essential analytical skills. As a reminder, they are
curiosity, understanding context, technical mindset, data design, data strategy.
Yeah. In the next couple of videos, we'll explore how these abilities all become part of data-driven decision making. But first, let's look at the concept of data-driven decision making and why it's more likely to lead to successful outcomes. You might remember that data-driven decision making involves using facts to guide business strategy. Data analysts can tap into the power of data to do all kinds of amazing things. With data, they can gain valuable insights, verify their theories or assumptions, better understand opportunities and challenges, support an objective, help make a plan, and much more. In business, data-driven decision-making can improve the results in a lot of different ways. For example, say a dairy farmer wants to start making and selling ice cream. They could guess what flavors customers would like, but there's a better way to get the information. The farmer could survey people and ask them what flavors they prefer. This gives the farmer the data they need to pick ice cream flavors people will enjoy. Here's another example. Let's say the president of an organization is curious about what perks employees value most. She asks the human resources director, who says people value casual dress code. It's a gut feeling, but the HR director backs it up with the fact that he sees a lot of people wearing jeans and t-shirts. But what if this company were to use a more structured employee feedback process, such as a survey? It might reveal that employees actually enjoy free public transportation cards the most. The human resources director just didn't realize that because he drives to work. These are just some of the benefits of data-driven decision making. It gives you greater confidence about your choice and your abilities to address business challenges. It helps you become more proactive when an opportunity presents itself, and it saves you time and effort when working towards a goal. Now let's learn more about how these 5 skills help you tap into all the potential of data-driven decision making. First, think about curiosity and context. The more you learn about the power of data, the more curious you're likely to become. You'll start to see patterns in relationships in everyday life, whether you're reading the news, watching a movie, or going to an appointment across town. The analysts take their thinking a step further by using context to make predictions, research answers, and eventually draw conclusions about what they've discovered. This natural process is a great first step in becoming more data-driven. Having a technical mindset comes next. Everyone has instincts, or, as in the case of our human resources director example, gut feelings. Data analysts are no different. They have gut feelings too, but they've trained themselves to build on those feelings and use a more technical approach to explore them. They do this by always seeking out the facts, putting them to work through analysis, and using the insights they gain to make informed decisions. Next, we come to data design, which has a strong connection to data-driven decision making. To put it simply, designing your data so that it's organized in a logical way makes it easy for data analysts to access, understand, and make the most of available information. And it's important to keep in mind that data design doesn't just apply to databases. This kind of thinking can work with all sorts of real-life situations too. The basic idea is this. If you make decisions that are informed by data, you are more likely to make more informed and effective decisions. The final ability is data strategy, which incorporates the people, processes, and tools used to solve a problem. This is a big one to remember because data strategy gives you a high-level view of the path you'll need to take to achieve your goals. Also, data-driven decision-making isn't a one-person job. It's much more likely to be successful if everyone is on board and on the same page. So it's important to make sure specific procedures are in place and that your technology Technology being used is aligned with your data-driven strategy. Now you know how these 5 essential analytical skills work towards making better data-driven decisions. So far, many of the examples you've heard are hypothetical. That means they could be true in theory, but aren't specific real-world cases. Next, we'll look at some real examples. I can't wait to share how data analysts put data to work for amazing results. In this video, I'm going to share some case studies that highlight the incredible work data analysts do. Each of these scenarios shows off the power of data-driven decision-making in unexpected ways. The first story is about Google. As I mentioned a little while back, here at Google, our mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. All of our products, from idea to development to launch, are built on data and data-driven decision-making. There are tons of examples here at Google of people using facts to create business strategy. But One of the most famous ones has to do with Google's human resources. So here's how it went. The HR department wanted to know if there was value in having managers. Were their contributions worthwhile, or should everyone just be an individual contributor? To answer that question, Google's People Analytics team looked at past performance reviews and employee surveys. The data they found was plotted on a graph because, as you've learned, visuals are extremely helpful when trying to understand a problem or concept. The graph revealed that Googlers had positive feelings about their managers, but the data was pretty general, and the team wanted to learn more. So they dug deeper and split the data into quartiles. A quartile divides data points into 4 equal parts, or quarters. Here's where the really cool stuff started happening. The data analysts discovered that there was a big difference between the very top and the very bottom quartiles. As it turned out, the teams with the best managers were significantly happier, more productive, and more likely to want to keep working at Google. This confirmed that managers were valued and make a big difference. Therefore, the idea of having only individual contributors was not implemented. But there was still more work to do. Just knowing that great managers create great results doesn't lead to actionable insights. You have to identify what exactly makes a great manager. So the team took 2 additional steps to collect more data. First, they launched an awards program where employees could nominate their favorite managers. For every submission, you had to provide examples or data about what makes that manager great. The second step involved interviewing managers who are graphed on the top and bottom quartiles. This helped the analytics team see the differences between successful and less successful management behaviors. The best behaviors were identified, as were the most common reasons for a manager needing improvement. The final step was sharing these insights and putting a procedure in place for evaluating managers with these qualities in mind. This data-driven decision continues to create an exceptional company culture for my colleagues and me. Thanks, data. Another interesting example comes from the nonprofit sector. Nonprofits are organizations dedicated to advancing a social cause or advocating for a particular effort, such as food security, education, or the arts. In this case, data analysts research how journalists can make a more meaningful impact for the nonprofits they would write about. Because journalists write for newspapers, magazines, and other news outlets, they can help nonprofits reach readers like you and me, who then take action to help nonprofits reach their goals. For instance, say you read about the problem of climate change in an online magazine. If the article is effective, you learn more about the cause and might even be compelled to make greener choices in your day-to-day life, volunteer for a nonprofit, or make a donation. That's an example of the journalist's work bringing about awareness, understanding, and engagement. So, back to the story. The data analysts used a tracker to monitor story topics, clicks, web traffic, comments, shares, and more. Then, they evaluated the information to make recommendations for how the journalists could do their jobs even better. In the end, they came up with some great ideas for how nonprofits and journalists can motivate people everywhere to work together and make the world a better place. There's really no end to what you can do as a data analyst. As you progress through this program, you'll discover even more possibilities. Great job following along with the topics in these past few videos. You learned all about analytical skills and the 5 key characteristics of data analysts. You probably even learned that you're a pro at most of these already. Next, you discovered what it means to think analytically and the specific skills data analysts develop to help them do it. You explored tools and processes that enable data analysts to pinpoint a problem and ask the right questions in order to solve it. Finally, some real-world stories helped illustrate
what happened.
Do their jobs even better. In the end, they came up with some great ideas for how nonprofits and journalists can motivate people everywhere to work together and make the world a better place. There's really no end to what you can do as a data analyst. As you progress through this program, you'll discover even more possibilities. Great job following along with the topics in these past few videos. You learned all about analytical skills and the 5 key characteristics of data analysts. You probably even learned that you're a pro at most of these already. Next, you discovered what it means to think analytically and the specific skills data analysts develop to help them do it. You explored tools and processes that enable data analysts to pinpoint a problem and ask the right questions in order to solve it. Finally, some real-world stories helped illustrate why data-driven decision-making is usually more successful than other methods. You're building a wonderful foundation for your career as a data analyst. With every video, your skills will continue to expand and your understanding of key data analytics concepts will only get stronger. Soon, you'll have a chance to test out everything you've learned. This is a really useful opportunity to check your understanding of all the concepts we discussed. And if you're ever unsure about a question, you can review the videos and readings to find the answer. This is another awesome way to practice collecting data. Keep up the great work.
Okay, let's go. Analytical thinking involves observing and inspecting a problem, then solving it, identifying and defining. What type of analysis create in order to communicate data insights to others? Graphs, charts. While planning a road trip, you figure out all the specific stops you need to take along the way. You also consider how often you will stop for gas, meals, and sleep. Having this information enables you to execute a plan. What does this scenario describe? Detail-oriented thinking. What is the method for examining and evaluating how a process works currently in order to get an improved future state, which is data 100%, baby, 100%. No mistake whatsoever. Confident, bro. What? Ah. Gap analysis. Okay, retry. We can retry, I guess, now. Gap analysis, and ready. We passed the exam. Not so difficult, man. It's easy. 100%, bro.
We've covered a lot, and I'm sure you have so much to think about already. That's a good thing. It means you started collecting data and you're doing your own personal analysis. That's what it's all about. You've built a great base already. As this course continues, your knowledge and data analysis skills will continue to grow. Once you've established a solid foundation, you'll apply what you've learned to the rest of the program. The data analysis process will help provide a framework for everything you do. Soon, you'll take your first graded assessment. It's a great way to check your understanding of the concepts and build confidence in your knowledge. Everyone learns at different speeds, so take your time, get familiar with the concepts. As soon as you feel ready, you can go ahead and get started. Keep in mind, if at any point you're not sure about a question, you can always review the videos and readings to remind yourself of the answer. We're all about open book tests here. Once you've passed, you'll be all set to move on. You've got this.
Okay.
Before you know it, you'll be done with
Time to
all
eat some
of the
food,
courses,
man.
and you'll be ready
Let's order
to create
some
your
food.
own case study. Then, if it's what you want to do, you'll start your job search equipped with the tools and skills that will wow any company you talk to. I can't wait to see where you go with data analytics. For now, though, give yourself a pat on the back for a job well done. See you soon.
Let's go. Glossary. Okay, I'm not going to read this one though. Analytical thinking, data collection of facts, data design, data science of data ecosystems, yeah, okay, whatever. Data set collection that can be manipulated. Technical visualization, okay. Assessment taking. Okay. Model 1 challenge. Attempts 3, time limit 40 minutes. Okay, let's go. Yeah, 40 minutes. Okay. Which of the following statement correctly describe data and data analysis? Select all that apply. Data is a collection of facts. One goal of data analysis is to draw conclusions. Okay. Data collecting, transforming organization data. Data is creating new way of understanding. Data analysis creating new ways of understanding unknown. No. True conclusions. One goal of data analysis. One goal of data analysis. True conclusions. Okay, now. Data science is creating new ways of identifying and understanding. Modeling. Was it modeling or identifying? It's creating the new voice of modeling. Okay, I thought it was modeling, but whatever. Which of the following activities are elements of data-driven decision making? Define the business need. Request observers. Okay, I think all of them. A pet shelter wants 15% more donation at year's holiday fundraiser at every given previous year. Then they develop strategy to bridge the difference between two. What is this scenario? Gap analysis, okay. Fill the blank. Data analysis use a problem-oriented approach in order to identify, describe, and solve problems. Which of the following is not a key aspect of analytical thinking? Which of the following is not a key aspect of analytical thinking? Visualization? Intuition? Yeah, intuition. Yeah, whatever. A data professional working at a non-profit prepares for a project about community forestry. They use their analytical thinking skills to determine what they want to achieve with the data. They also prioritize staying focused on track. Which aspects of analytical thinking does this scenario describe? I need to read this again. A data professional working at a non-profit prepares for a project about community forestry. They use their analytical skill to determine what they want to achieve with the data. They use their analytical thinking. They also prioritize staying unfocused. Strategic thinking, I think. Okay, yeah. What is the purpose of why? To understand root, to reveal the root cause of the problem, yeah. A data professional is assigned a challenging data analysis task. In order to be able to work in an analytical manner, they break down a technical mindset. Which of the following example demonstrates data-driven decision making? A dentist office uses specific from patient. Proof quality. A school district uses report caster. Additional. This is like gap or something. Financial interview clients to assess their risks. Okay. And a risk results in common safe. Nah. Okay. Now we are almost ready. The only thing I'm not sure is this modeling thing. Data science is creating new ways of modeling. Okay, whatever. Just 5 minutes is enough for me to pass the test, and as long as I pass it, is it okay? It's okay. Which I passed, right? What? I didn't pass? Shit. Wait, what? Where is my... Yeah, I passed. You're great, you passed 80%? Okay. If my grade is 82.50% and to pass you need to do at least 80%, why did I not pass? I'm so confused. I have scored 82.5% on the Model 1 challenge. The passing grade is over 80%, yet it doesn't tick and verify my success, my passing the quiz. Something is wrong. Can you fix it? Okay, now it's better. Oh, I just needed to refresh the page. Okay. All I just needed. Passed, okay. Notes, messages, resources, course info. Beginner level, okay. Foundations, data everywhere. Model 2. Okay. Model 2 is even shorter. Okay, good. Good. Now we will give a small pause so that I can go eat some food. And yeah. How do I pause? I can do something like this, you know. Create a new scene. Go to the scene and I can do this. Yes. What the hell's wrong? Why doesn't it fix? Okay, whatever. So now we go on a notepad, a short break. I will be back in 20 minutes after I eat my lunch. Let's put this like this. Does it show it? Okay, I think it shows. Actually, I'm about to end this stream because I don't feel like studying today. I think for the first day I did okay. Module 1 done. 3 hours of study. It's not bad. Maybe I will finish Module 2 without the live stream. So, I don't know. I just started for today and it's optional if I do it further without the stream, right? Then I will continue tomorrow with my second day stream from where I got left. It will be probably like Module 3 or end of Module 2. What the hell is 2? Bro,